You ever get that feeling like you're just playing a part, following a script that somebody else wrote for you? Well, today, we're going to dive into a really powerful philosophy that's all about ripping up that script. It's a path back to who you really are, a way to finally understand life and find some real freedom.
And this quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The most ugly thing in life, to be a carbon copy. It's basically saying that the greatest tragedy isn't failure, it's not loss. Nope. The ugliest thing is to live an inauthentic life, to just be an imitation, a copy, and in the process, lose the one thing that makes you, well, you.
So what's the real problem here? According to this way of thinking, it's that we live as if we only have an outside, you know? We get so focused on all the external stuff, what everyone else is doing, what society expects from us, that we completely forget about our own rich inner world. We forget that we have these deep roots inside us. And that's what leads us to imitate, to just follow the crowd, and to lose touch with our original face. And this creates a huge contrast. On one side, you have the original. This is someone who's authentic, someone who truly knows their inner self. And because of that, they experience bliss. But then you have the carbon copy, and they're just stuck. They're trapped in imitation, totally disconnected from their own inner reality. And so that bliss, they can never find it. It's a pretty powerful distinction when you stop and think about it.
Okay, so if being a carbon copy is the problem, what's the cause? The diagnosis is actually simple, but it's incredibly profound. Our own minds are the source of our suffering. Just think about that for a second. The very tool we use to navigate the world is the exact same thing that builds the cage we end up living in.
This philosophy has a pretty wild name for the mind. It calls it a bundle of insanities. And that sounds harsh, but when you think about it, it kind of makes a strange sort of sense. Our minds are just filled with all these beliefs, prejudices, and ideologies that we've inherited. Our nationality, our religion, our politics. And we don't just hold these ideas, we are fiercely proud of them. We get so invested in these divisions, these so-called insanities, that we'll defend them to the bitter end. So check out this little story from the source material. It just perfectly illustrates how our minds can be on completely different planets. This guy, Mullah Nasruddin, he's got his own way of talking, his own frame of reference. The hotel staff has theirs, and the result? Pure chaos and misunderstanding. It's a hilarious but sharp example of how we're all constantly interpreting reality through our own unique filters. And here we go again, another perfect contrast. You have this frantic lost city guy, angry, focused on everything outside himself, a classic picture of a mind in total turmoil. But the local? He's calm. He might not have the answer the guy is yelling for, but he has something way more valuable. He knows where he is. He's centered. He's grounded, which all leads to this really crucial and kind of challenging question for you. Are you more afraid of living than you are of dying? I mean, think about it. The fear of death is universal. We get that. But what about the fear of life? The fear of truly living, authentically, maybe a little rebelliously, without a map? That can be even more terrifying. Because to be truly alive often means you have to stand alone, and that's a risk most of us just aren't willing to take. So, what's the prescription for all this? If the mind is the problem, then the solution has to be moving beyond the mind. The path is one of awareness, of meditation. It's a journey, really. A journey from the noisy, cluttered attic of your head down into the quiet, spacious living room of your heart. And this path involves dropping 3 specific things. First, drop the past. It's just dead weight holding you back. Second, drop your expectations for the future. They're just mental projections, they never really come true, and they just lead to frustration. And third, and this is the big one, drop your resistance to what's happening right now. That resistance, that clinging, that's the root of all our suffering. Now what's fascinating is how this idea brings 2 different worldviews together. You've got the typical Western approach, right? Which is all about extroversion, relationships, the outer world. Then you've got the Eastern approach, which is all about introversion, meditation, the inner world. But this philosophy says, look, both of those are only half the picture. To be a whole, complete person, you have to nourish both your inside and your outside. So what is meditation, really? It's not some complicated technique you have to master. It's simply the process of shifting your awareness. It's like moving out of that loud, overcrowded, chaotic marketplace in your head and stepping into the quiet, empty, peaceful house of your heart. And it's right there, in that inner silence, that you can finally start to feel the actual joy of life.
So what's the result of this whole journey? This part might be the most surprising of all. It's not about becoming some somber, serious, holy person. Not at all. The result of true mastery is a life that's just overflowing with serenity, freedom, and this deep, cosmic sense of humor. True spirituality, it turns out, is a belly laugh.
And this quote just completely challenges that conventional picture of a sad, burdened spiritual figure. The argument here is that a person who is truly alive, someone deeply connected to existence itself, must be full of joy and laughter. The idea of an enlightened being who never laughs is called a profound lie, because from this perspective, laughter itself is a divine quality.
Now, once you reach this state of enlightenment, it's said that there are two different paths you can take. The first path is the Arahata. Remember that local on the side of the road? That's the Arahata. They know where they are blissful, unconcerned, like a fragrant rose, and they help others just by the radiance of their presence. The second path is the Bodhisattva. This is someone who feels such deep compassion that they decide to actively help others, to show them the way, even if it means facing a lot more trouble and taking on the burdens of others.
This next story really captures that playful spirit of mastery. The point isn't about the haggling itself, it's about the tailor's whole mindset. There's no struggle in him, no seriousness. He's not attached to the outcome, he's just enjoying the dance of life. That lighthearted, unburdened way of being, that's what it looks like when someone is truly free. And in the end, it all just comes down to this one feeling. It's not a complicated idea to memorize. It's a state of being. This simple, profound, and unbelievably sweet taste of freedom from the prison of your own mind. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important challenge of all. It's a radical message of self-reliance. After laying out the whole path, the ultimate point is this: there are no saviors. Nobody is coming to do the work for you. So this is what it looks like in practice, the way of the master. It's a total inner transformation. You give up the mischief of the mind, you become serene, you leave all the baggage behind, you don't take offense, and you never ever return evil for evil. That right there, that's the goal.
This quote just perfectly wraps it all up. Freedom isn't some gift that's handed to you. It's an achievement. It comes from your own efforts to wake yourself up, to watch yourself. You are the only one who can do it. You are your own master. You are your own refuge.
And so we'll leave you with this question to ponder. Buddha says you are the master. Okay, but what exactly are you the master of? Your thoughts, your actions, your destiny? The answer, as always, lies within.